Great. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Good morning, everyone. We are officially going to convene our Commerce meeting. I'd like to start by asking if our chairs or ranking members have any opening remarks.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to say thanks for all of the work by everyone here get us to this point on this non-commerce day in view of tomorrow's session. Let's get going. Thanks.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senator Martin or Representative Buckby?
I am good to go, Madam Chair. Thank you so much. And since this is our last meeting, thank you to the staff. Thank you for all the research that you do for us and making sure that we get the information that we need in order to move things along here in the Commerce Committee. So thank you to the staff and to all of you members as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Representative Buckby.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have to say, as crazy as this year has been, it's amazing how fast it's gone. And I want to thank the chairs for their work. My first time being ranking in a committee of this size, so it's certainly been a challenge for all of us with technology, with all these things, but with an outstanding staff across the board, both for the committee and for I have to mention Andrew Droney did an amazing job for research with us, an outstanding set of committee meetings, and I'm looking forward to getting through this today, but kind of sad that it's all done with today too. So mixed emotions. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Representative Buckby, and want to echo those sentiments and thank our Chair Hartley and our ranking members, Senator Martin and Buckby. It's been such a pleasure getting to work with you. We've achieved a number of important bills this session. It's been a pleasure collaborating with you both in a bipartisan fashion, and to all our committee members, thank you so much for all of your work throughout this committee, and especially our staff for your tireless efforts. Late into the evening last night, sending updated, bills and just working tirelessly on this and so many other committees amidst this pandemic. So thank you, Team Commerce. So with that, let's dive into the agenda today. And we will start with item number 1, Senate Bill number 3, an act concerning diverse economic opportunity, worker protections, and small business revitalization. This is a JFS to the floor, and it's LCO 5854. I would like to, before I summarize the bill, see if we could do a friendly amendment. There was just a slight technical issue with the date that was mentioned on this bill. Well, first wanted to entertain a motion to JFS SB3. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved.
Second.
Second, moved and seconded. Thank you. And now that it's been moved and seconded, would like to ask for a friendly motion to amend SB3 as follows: in line 267 of LCO 5854, just to replace the year 2021 with 2022. If there's no objection, would like to entertain a motion.
So
yep.
moved.
Moved and seconded.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Thank you. Is there any discussion or questions? Okay, great. Seeing none, if there's no objection, would just like to ask for a voice vote in favor of this, technical amendment. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
One more time. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Okay, great. The ayes have it. So now we can proceed with discussion on SB3 LCO 5854 as amended. And I'll just give a quick kind of high-level summary of the provisions of this bill. First, it extends and expands the state's R&D tax credit program to be allowed for human capital investment, or essentially workforce development purposes. It also requires our DECD commissioner to prioritize applicants for economic development, that they prioritize unemployed, low-income, dislocated workers, veterans, minorities, women, or individuals with disabilities when distributing economic development assistance. Thirdly, it establishes a task force to study the impact of COVID-19 on the impact of tourism, lodging, and restaurant industry employees. Fourth, it requires DECD, in consultation with our state's chief manufacturing officer, to develop a plan for improving our workforce pipeline for entry-level manufacturing jobs, and with a focus on graduates of state high schools and adult ed programs. Fifth, it requires DECD, in consultation with our Connecticut Sentencing Commission, to evaluate the effectiveness of provisional pardons and include recommendations to the legislature for improving our reentry workforce. Six, it requires DECD, in consultation with Department of Veterans Affairs, Department of Labor, and our Chief Manufacturing Officer, to develop a plan to better connect veterans to employment opportunities. Seventh, it requires CI, in consultation with DECD, CTNEX, and CCAT, to develop a plan to increase funding for the Small Business Innovation Research Program and Small Business Tech Transfer Program. Eighth, it requires DECD, in consultation with our Department of Corrections, to study the Federal Prison Industry Enhancement Certificate Program. Ninth, it requires our DECD commissioner to study the state's Opportunity Zone Incentive Program and analyze the effectiveness of that program. 10th, it requires DECD to establish a small business microloan assistance program to aid businesses with 20 or less employees with microloans. 11th, it requires our banking commissioner to consider a bank's record of participating in this microloan program when assessing a bank's record of performance. And 12th, it requires DECD to study with the Department of Labor, the Federal Department of Labor's federal bonding program, and analyze its effectiveness. So with that, that is a high level summary. Any discussion, questions, concerns? Representative Buckby.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I guess the concerns really that I had in looking at this to start with were, while I'm completely in favor of so many incentives and tax breaks, the allocation of where those funds are, the fiscal note of what may be attached to this isn't there. I love a lot of the concepts. It's just I'm going to be flagging it as a no today, just because of that the fiscal question to it. But thank you for the work on this bill. It's a lot of bill right there. That took a lot of time. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative, for those comments. Any other questions or concerns? Representative Nuccio.
Hi, sorry, just to kind of follow up, thank you, Madam Chair, just to follow up on what Representative Buckby said. My only concern is this was a really big bill with a lot of different things in it. And I'm never really a fan of having a bunch of mixed different things in one bill, because you can be supportive of 3 and not of 2 and, you know, the whole rigmarole. But lots of studies in here. But my bigger concern was there, I think, are 3 or 4 different things that we're looking to implement stuff in the grants and the monies that we're looking at. There's no limits put on anything. There's nothing that says, you know, up to $5 million, or we're going to use some of the CARES money, or, you know, it's a $10,000 opportunity. So I'm just concerned that there's a lot of vagueness in the ones that we're implementing, that there's no dollar amounts on there. So if there was a way to kind of tighten that up and put some limits on there, I'd be more in favor, because I'm in favor of all of the things we want to do. I'm just not in favor of the vagueness with the financial piece of it.
Thank you, Representative Nuccio, for making your concerns known and for your comments. We appreciate it. Any other comments or concerns from members? Senator Martin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just very quickly, regarding the portion of the bill that addresses the job training and tying it to the certificate program and work education programs, is any of this bill? I guess I'm looking at the Governor's Workforce Council and what the work that they're doing. Is there going to be communication between what's going on with the governor's office and with this bill?
Thank you, Senator, for that question. And yes, that's a really good point, because the governor's office is, working on their, Office of Workforce Strategy, and we'll have a bill this session as well. And I do know that we have been, communicating with them closely on this, and that, supporting the reentry population is, definitely part of their goal as well. But I think that's a good point, to make sure that after this passes, that we continue to coordinate with the governor's office on this to align interests.
Yeah, I just see a lot of we're doing something here in this committee, and then governor's office is doing something, and we're pretty much doing the same thing. I just want to make sure that we're got communications going on between the two entities, so that we're not being redundant. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yeah, great points. Thanks, Senator Martin. Any other comments? I also want to thank Senator Hartley for her lead, and Senator Cohen, and all the senators on the committee for their leadership, Senator Miller and others on this bill. Any other? Oh, sorry, Senator Hartley. There we go.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thanks for the comments with regard to this bill. I just want to, for the record, make a few put a few notes in here. There really aren't any grant programs in this. Section 1 talks about the stranded tax credit program, which exists right now. These are typically the big companies that have the R&D tax credits that cannot actually use them. And that's why we term them stranded. And so this would allow them to access those credits that they have earned for investments, essentially, simply put, into their workforce. So there are no dollars associated with this. These are earned tax credits that exist on the books. And then we're talking also about Section 7, where we talk about increasing funding to businesses through SBIR and STIR. Those are the Small Business Innovation Research Grants and the Small Business Technology Transfer Grants. This is federal money, which we in the state of Connecticut can do a much better job of accessing. And so that's the initiative for us, especially in view of our aerospace and our defense industry and all of the supply chains that support those industries, to do a better job in accessing those federal dollars. And then lastly, on the microloans, we are not talking about a grant or any state dollars here. We're talking about putting up a program where we can have technical assistance to those small businesses, because one of the things we heard most from on the PPP loans were that those small guys who didn't have a real strong working relationship with a financial institution in their community basically kind of got left by the side. So this is to incentivize the lenders and to help, quite frankly, the small mom and pops, the barber shop, the pizza shop, the deli, to have a working relationship with a financial institution in their community. So yes, so thank you for allowing my commentary. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Madam Co-Chair. Any other questions or concerns on this bill? Okay, great. Seeing none, I would ask our clerk to call the roll. And a reminder, this is SP number 3, a JFS to the floor, LCO.
Madam Chair, sorry to interrupt. Representative Nuccio has her hand
Oh,
raised.
my apologies. Sorry, Representative Nuccio, didn't see you. Feel free, go ahead.
I'm sorry. It was literally as you were saying it, I was trying to get to the button. So if I just want to make sure I heard all that correctly. So what we're saying is the 3 areas in here that we're talking about granting opportunities. We're saying there's not going to be any impact to the state budget by doing this. One is being able to incentivize, use the tax credits. One is from federal dollars, so it's not going to have any impact on the state disbursements. And the last one was not either. Am I clear on that? I just want to make sure.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, that changes it for me. I think with the only question being the federal dollars, making sure that, obviously we're not exceeding whatever allowable amounts we have in that. So, okay, thank you very much. That was helpful.
Thank you very much, Representative. Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, Madam Clerk, I would ask you to call the roll for SB number 3. This is a JFS to the floor, LCO 5854 as amended.
Senator Hartley,
Senator Hartley in the affirmative.
Representative Simmons,
Rep. Simmons is a yes.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
One more time, please.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Rochelle,
Representative Rochelle votes yes.
Senator Martin, Senator Martin,
Sorry, everybody. Senator Martin votes yes.
Representative Buckby,
Representative Buckby flags with a no.
Representative Anderson,
Representative Anderson votes no.
Representative Dijo Van Carlo,
Representative DiGiovanni Carlo votes yes.
Representative Exum,
Representative Exum votes yes.
Representative Fusco,
Representative Fusco votes no.
Representative Garibay,
Representative Garibay votes yes.
Representative Hampton,
Representative Hampton votes yes.
Representative Lanu,
Representative Lanu votes no.
Representative Leeper, Representative Leeper votes yes. Senator McCrory, Senator Miller,
Senator Miller votes yes.
Senator Needleman, Representative Nuccio, Representative Nuccio, Representative Phipps,
Phipps, yes.
Senator Sampson, Representative Thomas,
Rep. Thomas votes yes.
Representative Wood,
Representative Wood votes yes.
Representative Yacarino,
Representative Iacarino votes yes.
what's that, Madam Chair?
Great, thank you, Madam Clerk. And just want to note that our clerk won't be announcing the tallies because we will be holding the votes open for an hour after the end of this meeting to make sure folks can get their votes in case they're missing this meeting right now. We know there's multiple meetings going on. So moving on to the next item on the agenda, number 2, Senate Bill number 167, an act concerning the disposition of the former Seaside Sanatorium facility. This is a JF to the floor. And this bill essentially requires DEEP by September 1st, 2021 to develop and issue a request for information for low impact residential uses for the former Seaside Sanatorium facility in Waterford. It requires DEEP to consult with the governor's office, OPM, DAS, DECD, and Waterford's chief elected official and adjacent landowners. And the RFI must include, among other things, repairing and preserving the seawall to allow for public access. I would like to entertain a motion to JFSB number 167 to the floor.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Thank you. Is there any discussion or any questions? Senator Cohen.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair.
I have some concerns over this bill based upon the testimony that we've heard and that I've read that perhaps we're being too hasty here. While I recognize that this property has been a bone of contention with some in the area, the park is home to wonderful architectural treasures and its locale is incredibly special. I believe that it's very important for us to protect public access to our parks, and Connecticut has long been a tourist draw for these,
Hey, Joan.
these special places that our residents are supposed to love and enjoy regularly. I know the Friends of Seaside Park, which is a fairly newly formed Friends group, is working hard and has presented plans to DEEP that could really preserve some of the historical buildings. There are Cass Gilbert buildings on the property and maintain public access. And as somebody who represents the shoreline community with public parks on the Long Island Sound, I know how important these state parks become to area markets when they're really brought to their full potential. But we have to really allow for that process to happen. We heard testimonial after testimonial that indicated just give us time. And so I worry that if we act without understanding the longer term ramifications here, that we'll be in a situation, I just kind of have Joni Mitchell playing in my head that, they paved paradise and put up a parking lot. So I have concerns, and for that reason, I'll be voting no today.
Thank you, Senator, for making those concerns known. And I do want to flag this. I share your concerns on this too. And I am going to vote to get it out of committee, but I want to make sure that all parties are working closely together on this, listening to the town, listening to residents, and making sure we're doing everything we can to protect the environment on this as well. So thank you again for making your concerns known. Any other questions or concerns? Oh, Senator Martin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have not seen this site. I've been on the committee for 4 years, and I have heard this testimony twice now, this year as well as 2 years ago, I believe. And when Senator Formica asked or submitted his bill again, I think that the intent was really to get everybody at the table, and it seems like the effort has been there to try to bring them to the table to work out. Listen, the preservation of the property. You're talking about what, 30-something acres. You've got some dilapidated buildings that have been there for a while that have now become a safety factor, and it's been a site that really needs to be looked at. And it's an effort here from Senator Formica to get everybody to the table to discuss. So I hope that everybody could, with their votes, give them, the town, and all those parties involved to say, hey, please get to the table, try to resolve this. The intent is to provide, the conservation portion of this, and take care of those buildings as well. And if there's development to be had that would help the community there, then all right, let's decide what that should be. So that's I'm hoping that everybody will offer their support in this bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Martin. Thank you for those comments. Any other comments from committee members? Okay, seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll. This is for SB number 167, JF to the floor.
Senator Hartley,
Senator Hartley, yes.
Representative Simmons,
Rep. Simmons, yes.
Senator Cohen. Senator Cohen votes no. Representative Rochelle.
Representative Rochelle votes yes.
Senator Martin.
Senator Martin votes yes.
Representative Buckby.
Representative Buckby votes yes.
Representative Anderson.
Representative Anderson votes yes.
Representative Di Carlo.
Representative Carlo votes yes.
Representative Exum.
Representative Exum votes yes.
Representative Fusco.
Representative Fusco votes yes.
Representative Garibay. Representative Garibay votes yes. Representative Hampton.
Representative Hampton votes yes.
Representative Lanu.
Representative Lanu votes yes.
Representative Leeper. Representative Leeper votes yes. Senator McCrory. Senator Miller. Senator Miller votes no. Senator Needleman. Representative Nuccio.
Representative Nuccio, couldn't even say my own name, votes yes.
Thank you. Representative Phipps.
Phipps, yes.
Senator Sampson. Representative Thomas.
Representative Thomas votes yes.
Representative Wood. Representative Yacarino.
Representative Yacarino votes yes.
All set, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, moving on to number 3, Senate Bill number 936, an act concerning revisions to certain economic and community development related statutes. This is a JFS to the floor, LCO number 5714. This is the Department of Economic and Community Development's one of their main bills this session that includes a number of provisions, some of them technical, some of them more substantive, and I'll just provide a summary. Sections 1 and 2 relate to the Historic Preservation Board and increase the length of time that board members can serve from 1 to 3 years to make the process more efficient and sustainable. Section 3 relates to dry cleaning remediation grants, expands grants permitted uses to apply to environmental site assessments, and requires applicants to prove they can match any grant up to $10,000 before receiving a grant. There's also sections that eliminate boards that are no longer functioning. There's a section that eliminates reporting requirements for DEC to report on other department activities. This is, for efficiency's sake and also to reduce duplicative reports that are already being reported on. There's a section related to unexpended tourism district funds and requires that regional tourism districts return any unexpended funds to DECD at the end of each fiscal year, and then DECD must use those funds to support statewide marketing efforts. There's a section related to revamping membership of the CT Arts Council Foundation. There's a section related to FOIA exemption for certain archaeological sites, and a section providing more clarity on DECD relocation clawbacks. So I would like to entertain a motion on this bill, SB number 936, JFS to the floor, LCO 5714. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Thank you. Is there any discussion? Representative Buckby.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to start a consent calendar and to move this to the consent calendar.
Thank you very much, Representative. Is the motion moved and seconded for consent calendar?
Second.
Great.
I was just going to say we could probably start the consent calendar without objection if there was no objection.
Great. If no objection, we will start a consent calendar. Thank you, Representative Buckby.
And we'll move item 3 to the consent calendar.
There's a motion to move item number 3 to the consent calendar. Is there any objection? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor of moving item 3 to the consent calendar, say aye.
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 Great. Any opposed?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Great. So we will move item number 3 to the consent calendar. Thank you, Representative. So moving on to item number 4, SB number 1038. This is an act concerning brownfield remediation. This is a JFS to finance revenue and bonding, LCO number 5841. So this bill makes a couple of changes to our brownfield remediation program, and specifically the abandoned brownfield cleanup program. It comes to us from members of our brownfield working group. And I'll give a summary. It essentially allows persons that lease a property to be eligible for the program if the lease was for fewer than 5 years. It also requires DEEP to determine whether to audit an LEP's verification of the property within 60 days, and then requires DEEP to complete the audit within 180 days after receiving verification. And then this bill also establishes a brownfields tax credit program. The credits are available against the corporate, insurance premium, air carrier, railroad company, community antenna, and utility company taxes. And the credits are used for, or can be used for, investigating, assessing, and remediating brownfields. The credit equals 50% of the eligible expenditures and up to $2 million, and may be used by brownfield owners or the taxpayers to whom they transferred the credit to. And there's an aggregate cap of $10 million per fiscal year. I would like to entertain a motion to JFS this bill, SB number 1038, LCO 5841, to finance revenue and bonding. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or any questions? Representative Buckby.
Madam Chair, with if there is no opposition, I'd like to move this bill to the consent calendar, please.
Great. Thank you, Representative Buckby. Any questions or objection? Seeing no objection, I would like to entertain a motion to move this bill to the consent calendar.
So moved.
Moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Great. All those in favor say aye. Great. Thank you,
Aye.
Representative Buckby.
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Okay, the ayes have it. We will place item number 4 on the consent calendar. Thank you, Representative. Moving on to number 5, SB number 1039, an act concerning blockchain and emerging technologies. This is a JFS to the floor, LCO number 5798. And this bill requires the Department of Administrative Services to develop and issue a blockchain request for information by October 1st, 2021. And it requires the DAS commissioner to submit a report that evaluates RFI responses and identifies departments that could utilize blockchain technology to make their departments more efficient and cost effective. This is really important bill that we've been looking at for a couple of years. It also came out of our blockchain working group, which was made up of public and private stakeholders and experts on blockchain. I want to thank Senator Hartley and Representative Buckby and others for their support for this initiative. We think that this could be a really innovative and effective technology for our state to pilot in some of our departments to make services more efficient and beneficial to consumers. A number of other states are looking at implementing blockchain technology in order to better deliver services to constituents. And so we think this is an important bill to help modernize and streamline state government services. So with that, I would like to entertain a motion to JFS to the floor, LCO 5798, SB number 1039. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or any questions? Representative Buckby.
Madam Chair, thank you. This is a really important bill. A lot of people aren't aware of the impact of blockchain technology, and I think this is going on about 4 years worth of this committee looking into this, and this is a bill that I thought we were going to get through last year, but excited to see this move forward, and I'd like to make a motion to move this to consent.
Great. Motion is made to place this on the consent calendar.
Second.
So moved and second. Great. Thank you, Representative. All those in favor of putting this on the consent calendar, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Great. Item number 5, SB 1039, will be placed on the consent calendar. Moving on to number 6, HB number 5481, an act establishing a grant program for women and minority-owned businesses. This is a JFS to the floor LCO number 5835. And this bill is a really important bill to help businesses that have been devastated by this pandemic, in particular women and minority-owned businesses, and it requires DECD to create a grant program using a portion of federal COVID-19 funding that the state has received to create a program that would provide $25,000 grants to women and minority-owned businesses. And I want to thank Senator Miller for her leadership on this bill. We had connected this summer on this when Senator Miller reached out to me, and we've heard from so many small businesses, in particular minority-owned businesses and women-owned businesses that have been hit especially hard and weren't able to access a number of the PPP loans or other loan and grant programs out there. And so we really felt there was a strong need to implement this program to help these businesses. So with that, I would like to entertain a motion to JFS to the floor, HB 5481, LCO 5835.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or questions? Senator Martin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just one quick one. I think a lot of people realize that the impact that COVID has had on an array of businesses, including the minority-owned businesses as well. The many have actually closed their doors. Would this bill help them reestablish opening their businesses?
Thanks, Senator Martin. So this bill is intended to focus on women and minority-owned businesses. We do have other bills and provisions that are more broad or open to all businesses, but this bill is intended to focus on those that were hardest hit, in particular women and minority-owned businesses. But it also does require our DCD commissioner to report on the number and types of businesses that are receiving this.
I think maybe I wasn't clear. I guess what I'm acknowledging is that many minority businesses have closed their doors because of COVID. So does this bill assist them in reestablishing their businesses to open?
Yes, apologies, I may have misheard you. Yes, so this bill does intend to help minority-owned businesses that have had to close their doors, help them reopen. Yes.
Okay, great. All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Representative Buckby.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think this is a great bill. Looking forward to it. My only question is it exclusive? So if, let's say there's a daycare, and there's a woman who runs a daycare and it happens to be in her husband's name, would they be excluded from this, or would they still be able to apply for this, for these funds?
Thanks for that question, Representative. So the language does specify that the grants are intended for women and minority-owned businesses that are, registered with, within that category. But it does give DECD discretion on this. So yeah, I think that's the best way to answer it, if that answers your question.
No, it definitely does. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative. Any other questions or remarks? Senator Miller.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I would like to thank you, Senator Hartley, and the committee as well for raising this bill, because I think it's an important bill. As my colleagues stated, it's something that's much needed because families were hard hit and businesses were hard hit during COVID and had to close their doors and didn't have access to some of the other programs. So thank you for listening to me this summer and bringing this bill forth. So again, thank you very much. I think the people of this state will be very pleased if we can get this through as law. Thank you.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Senator Miller, for those comments and for your support and leadership on this bill. Any other questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, I would ask Madam Clerk to call the roll.
Senator Hartley.
Senator Hartley, yes.
Representative Simmons,
Rep. Simmons, yes.
Senator Cohen,
Cohen votes yes.
Representative Rochelle,
Representative Rochelle votes yes.
Senator Martin,
Senator Martin votes yes.
Representative Buckby,
Representative Buckby votes yes.
Representative Anderson,
Representative Anderson votes yes.
Representative DiGiovancarlo,
Representative DiGiovancarlo votes yes.
Representative Exum,
Representative Exum votes yes.
Representative Fusco,
Representative Fusco votes yes.
Representative Garibay,
Representative Garibay votes yes.
Representative Hampton,
Representative Hampton votes yes.
Representative Lanu,
Representative Lanu votes yes.
Representative Leeper, Senator McCrory, Senator Miller,
Senator Miller votes yes.
Senator Needleman, Representative Nuccio,
Representative Nuccio is a yes.
Representative Phipps,
Phipps, yes.
Senator Sampson, Representative Thomas,
Rep. Thomas votes yes.
Representative Wood, Representative Yacarino.
Representative Yacarino votes yes.
All set, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, moving on to number 7. This is HB number 5759, an act requiring notice before the implementation of any declaration, proclamation, or order that affects businesses. And this is a JFS to the floor, sorry, LCO 5795. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Sir. Great, thank you. Moved and seconded. So this bill essentially requires the governor, to the extent possible, to provide at least 5 days notice before proclaiming a public health or civil preparedness emergency, or issuing an order pursuant to such emergencies that restricts a business's ability to operate or capacity to do business in whole or in part. The notice must be published in full at least once in the newspaper, provided to the news and the public, and posted on the state's website. However, failure to take these actions does not impair the declaration or order's validity. So the motion has been made. Is there any discussion? Representative Buckby.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to move this item to consent.
Second.
Great, the motion has been made and seconded to place this item on the consent calendar. Is there any other discussion or questions on this one? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor of placing this on the consent calendar, say aye.
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 All those opposed, say nay. Okay, great. The ayes have it. Item number 7, HB number 5759, JFS to the floor 5795 will be placed on the consent calendar. Moving on to item number 8, House Bill number 6604, an act adopting the revised uniform law on notarial acts. This is a JFS to the floor LCO number 5803. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is moved and seconded. I will provide a summary. This bill essentially does two things. First, it enacts the governor's remote notarization executive order through June 30th, 2022. So it essentially extends the executive order. And then secondly, it requires the Commerce Committee chairs to convene a working group to examine and make recommendations with respect to remote notaries. And it specifies the working group's members, and it designates the co-chairs as the Secretary of State or a designee and a member of the legislature who has real estate transaction experience, and requires the working group to really consider whether remote notarization should be permitted with respect to real estate interests. And we thought that this was, good compromise language. We really listened to all sides on this and wanted to make sure that we were, extending this option during this pandemic, but also making sure we're getting all parties to the table to closely consider this legislation in the future. So any questions or discussion on this bill? Representative Buckby.
Madam Chair, this was certainly a hot topic, and as this originated with us, I think it's a right move to really do more work in this with those in the community who will develop, who will impact directly. And I think this is a really well done by the chairs. I thank you so much for wording this properly to move this along so that it doesn't fall flat anywhere. So with that, I will make a motion to move it to consent.
Great, thank you, Representative. Motion is made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Is there any discussion or questions? Okay, without objection, we can place, I'm told by our LCO that we don't need to do the voice vote. I can just say without objection, we can place this on the consent calendar. Thank you very much, Representative. Okay, moving on to number 9, HB number 6606, an act concerning economic development and the renovation of historic mixed-use buildings in the state. This is a JFS to the floor, LCO number 5844. And this does a couple of things. First, first I should thank our Main Street Caucus and Representative Phipps, Representative Garibay, and Representative Leeper and others for their advocacy for this bill and for all of their work to support our main streets and help revitalize our downtown main streets, especially who've been hit especially hard by this pandemic. So this bill has a couple of provisions. First, it requires the ECD to study CHFA's Come Home to Downtown program and report to the Commerce Committee by February 1st, 2022. Secondly, it establishes a 15-member task force to study any impediments to the renovation of historic mixed-use buildings located in municipalities and examine financing tools that may be able to assist for this renovation to preserve historic buildings. And then the second provision of this bill is it extends the governor's executive order allowing for expanded outdoor dining effective until June 30th, 2022. And a couple of other provisions related to that, but that's an overall summary of the bill. I would like to entertain a motion to JFS this bill to the floor, LCO number 5844 to JFS House Bill number 6606 to the floor. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Thank you. Is there any discussion or any questions? Representative Buckby.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to again thank leadership on this one for making it more inclusive for all historic buildings too. Although I do recognize where the intent is for, but there may be some other areas where it can help. I'd also like us to be able to see, I'd like to be able to see us do a little more for those restaurants. And I think that's something we can discuss once this hits the floor. I don't think there'll be tremendous opposition. I think there's some language details that some people had a concern with, but overall, I think it's a good bill, and I'll be supporting it today. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Yes, and just following up on those good points, I know there is a similar bill on this in the P&D committee, and so I think definitely, to your point, the discussion will be continued on this subject, and the bills could potentially be merged just for efficiency's sake after it gets out of committee. Okay, seeing no other questions or discussion, Representative, was this item consentable, or should we call the roll on this?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I believe this is one we need to call the roll on, but I'm not 100% sure. So let's not put it on consent.
No problem. Happy to call the roll. So Madam Clerk, please call the roll. This is HB 6606, JFS to the floor, LCO number 5844.
Senator Hartley, Representative Simmons,
Rep. Simmons, yes.
Senator Cohen,
Cohen votes yes.
Representative Rochelle,
Representative Rochelle votes yes.
Senator Martin.
Senator Martin votes yes.
One more time, please.
Senator Martin votes yes.
Thank you. Representative Buckby,
Representative Buckby votes yes.
Representative Anderson,
Representative Anderson votes yes.
Representative DiGiovan Carlo,
Representative DiGiovan Carlo votes yes.
Representative Exum,
Representative Exum votes yes.
Representative Fusco,
Representative Fusco votes yes.
Representative Garibay,
Representative Garibay votes yes.
Representative Hampton,
Rep. Hampton votes yes.
Representative Lanu,
Representative Lemieux votes yes.
Representative Leeper,
Representative Leeper votes yes.
Senator McCrory, Senator Miller,
Senator Miller votes yes.
Senator Needleman, Representative Nuccio,
Representative Nuccio votes yes.
Representative Phipps.
Phipps, yes.
One more time, please.
Phipps, yes.
Thank you. Senator Sampson, Representative Thomas,
Rep. Thomas votes yes.
Representative Wood, Representative Yacarino.
Representative Yacarino votes yes.
All set.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, moving on to number 10, HB number 6607, an act incentivizing the adoption of cybersecurity standards for businesses. This is a JF to judiciary. And this bill essentially aims to protect businesses and consumers from cyber threats in light of rising cyber threat we're seeing across the country. And especially amidst this pandemic with so many people working remotely and online, this bill is really intended to help protect personal data and consumers from threats by really voluntarily incentivizing businesses to adopt best practices with respect to cybersecurity. And so specifically, the bill establishes an affirmative defense for causes of action brought against a business because of a data breach. If the action alleges that the breach resulted from a failure to reasonable cybersecurity controls, the business has an affirmative defense if it created, maintained, and complied with a written cybersecurity program that included certain safeguards and conform to industry recognized cybersecurity frameworks. And some of those frameworks are specified in the bill. It's the current version of one or any combination of 6 specified standards or frameworks. So for example, one of them is the National Institute of Standards and Technology framework, the Federal Risk Management Programs, FedRAMP Security Assessment Framework, the Center for Internet Security, Center for Internet Security, Critical Security Controls for Effective Cyber Defense Framework, and several others. And a number of these frameworks have been demonstrated or proven to mitigate cyber attacks by 83%. So we really think this is a bill that's a win-win for businesses and consumers because it will help thwart cyber attacks while at the same time, protecting businesses from liability and consumers from that threat. So with that, I would like to entertain a motion to JF House Bill number 6607 to Judiciary. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Thank you. Is there any discussion or questions? Representative Buckby.
I seem to be the first in line today for a lot of these. Thank you, Madam Chair. I think this is a really smart bill. This is a really important bill for our businesses to protect themselves. My only questions were the incentives weren't really laid out as far as is there a financial incentive? What would that incentive be?
Thanks, Representative, for those questions. So it's not a financial incentive. It's essentially a legal safe harbor liability protection incentive. So in lines 43 to 54 of the bill, it says in any cause of action founded in tort that is brought under the laws of the state that alleges the failure to implement reasonable cybersecurity controls resulted in a data breach, it shall be an affirmative defense that a coveted entity created, maintained, and complied with a written cybersecurity program. So essentially, it gives businesses some liability protection if they took the initiative to adopt these recognized cybersecurity frameworks and protocols. It gives them some protection in the courts under this bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And is there any forced dollars that have to be spent for the business to comply?
Thanks for that question, Representative. No forced dollars. It is entirely voluntary and no requirement for any funding to be spent on this.
Thank you very much. I certainly support the bill. I think it's a great idea, and I hope that others will follow suit.
Thank you, Representative. Thanks for those questions and comments. Any other questions or comments from members? Okay, seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Hartley. Representative Simmons.
Rep. Simmons, yes.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
One more time, please.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Thank you. Representative Rochelle.
Rep. Rochelle votes yes.
Senator Martin.
Senator Martin votes yes.
Representative Buckby.
Representative Buckby votes yes.
Representative Anderson.
Representative Anderson votes yes.
Representative DiGiovancarlo.
Representative DiGiovancarlo votes yes.
Representative Exum. Representative Fusco.
Representative Fusco votes yes.
Representative Garibay.
Representative Garibay votes yes.
Representative Hampton.
Representative Hampton votes yes.
Representative Lanu.
Representative Lanu votes yes.
Representative Leeper. Senator McCrory. Senator Miller.
Senator Miller votes yes.
Senator Needleman. Representative Nuccio.
Representative Nuccio votes yes.
Representative Phipps.
Phipps, yes.
One more time, please.
Phipps, yes.
Thank you. Senator Sampson, Representative Thomas,
Rep. Thomas votes yes.
Representative Woods, Representative Yakarino.
Representative Yakarino votes yes.
All set, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So moving on to our final item on the agenda is number 11, House Bill number 6467, an act concerning the Small Business Express program. This is a JFS to the floor, LCO number 5834. I'd like to entertain a motion to JFS HB number 6467, LCO 5834 to the floor.
So moved.
Moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Moved and seconded. I will give a summary of this bill. It essentially makes changes to DECD's Small Business Express program, and it adds new functions to the revolving loan component of the Small Business Express program. And it essentially allows DECD to consult with Connecticut Innovations in administering the program, and also to collaborate with Connecticut-based banks to provide these loans. It also increases the maximum size of loans that can be provided through the Minority Business Revolving Loan Fund. And it requires DECD to provide an annual rather than biannual report on the Small Business Express program to ensure that that we are getting information on the effectiveness of the program. And we believe this will be really essential, especially right now, to so many small businesses who are still struggling amidst this pandemic. This will allow them to access low interest loans to help them reopen their businesses, or continue to work to gain back revenue and gain customers and support for their businesses through this difficult period. So we want to thank the department and everyone's on the committee's support for this important bill to support our small businesses who are struggling right now. So with that summary, I'll open it up to any questions or concerns from members. Representative Buckby.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Barring any concerns, I would make a motion to move this item to consent.
Great, thank you, Representative Buckby. Motion's been made to add this to the consent calendar. Is there a second?
Second, if we need it.
Second.
That was good word there. Thank you very much, Representative. Seconded. So we will place item number 11, HB number 6467, JFS to the floor, LCO 5834. Okay, great. So we need to vote on our consent calendar.
Madam Chair, sorry to interrupt. Representative Anderson has his hand raised.
Oh, my apologies. Representative Anderson. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Madam Chair, I just want to clarify on this HB 6467, how this would change current policy. In other words, are we loaning government money, or we're trying to guarantee of private loans? That's my question, Madam Chair.
Yeah, thanks for that question, Representative. So we're really changing the program to allow for, DECD used to provide these loans directly to businesses using government money, and this now allows DECD to partner with our banks and the private sector to provide these loans.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm okay with going to the consent calendar.
Thank you for that question, Representative. Okay, great. Do we need to add this again to the consent calendar, Madam Clerk, or was that sufficient before?
I think it was sufficient before, yeah.
Okay, great. Just want to make sure. So now we are set to vote on our consent calendar, and just to remind folks which items we have on our consent calendar, I'll just read them again. We have item number 3, SB number 936. This is a JFS to the floor, LCO number 5714, an act concerning revisions to certain economic and community development related statutes. We have item number 4, SB number 1038, an act concerning brownfield remediation. This is a JFS to finance revenue and bonding, LCO number 5841. We have item number 5, SB number 1039, an act concerning blockchain and emerging technologies. This is a JFS to the floor, LCO number 5798. We have item number 7, HB number 5759, an act requiring notice before the implementation of any declaration, proclamation, or order that affects businesses. This is a JFS to the floor, LCO 5795. We have item number 8, HB number 6604, an act adopting the revised Uniform Law on Notarial Acts. This is a JFS to the floor, LCO 5803. And then we have item number 11, HB number 6467, an act concerning the Small Business Express Program, JFS to the floor, LCO number 5834. Madam Clerk or LCO, were there any bills that I missed that are on our consent calendar?
No, you covered all of them.
Okay, great. Then we can proceed with the roll call vote on the consent calendar. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Hartley. Representative Simmons.
Rep. Simmons, yes.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Rochelle.
Representative Rochelle votes yes.
Senator Martin.
Senator Martin votes yes.
Representative Buckby.
Representative Buckby votes yes.
Representative Anderson.
Representative Anderson votes yes.
Representative DiGiovancarlo.
Representative DiGiovancarlo votes yes.
Representative Exum.
Representative Exum votes yes.
Representative Fusco.
Representative Fusco votes yes.
Representative Garibay.
Representative Garibay votes yes.
Representative Hampton.
Representative Hampton votes yes.
Representative Lanu.
Representative Lanu votes yes.
Representative Leeper. Senator McCrory. Senator Miller.
Senator Miller votes yes.
Senator Needleman. Representative Nuccio.
Representative Nuccio votes yes.
Representative Phipps.
Phipps, yes.
One more time, please.
Phipps, yes.
Senator Sampson. Representative Thomas.
Rep. Thomas votes yes.
Representative Wood. Representative Yacarino.
Representative Yacarino votes yes.
All set, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And before we recess, we will be recessing our committee for, Madam Clerk, can we say for an hour?
Senator Hartley has some comments.
Oh, Senator Hartley.
You're on mute, Senator.
Sorry, can we keep it open until 2, Madam Chair? Just
Sure,
to
absolutely.
make sure we reached out to everybody.
Absolutely. Let's keep it open until 2 to ensure folks have enough time to get their votes in. And before we close, I just want to thank our committee leadership, Senator Hartley, Senator Martin, Rep. Buckby, and also our vice chairs, Vice Chair Senator Cohen, Vice Chair Representative Rochelle, for your leadership on this committee. It's been such a pleasure working with you, and also want to thank all of our members for your collaboration and commitment to supporting businesses and jobs during this difficult time, and to everyone for really working together in a bipartisan fashion for our state. And then also want to thank our staff again, our clerk Ginger, our LCO Nick, our OLR team, Terry, Sean, and our OFA team, Mike, and all the staff for your help and support on this committee during this session. And all the bills, or a number of the bills that we pass, are going to be so critical to helping businesses and to individuals getting back to work during this difficult time. So really proud and honored to have gotten the opportunity to work with everyone on this committee on this important agenda that we've passed this session. So with that, I'll open up to any closing remarks from our chairs and ranking members.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I just want to echo your comments again. Now that all our work is done, I think it's appropriate for the membership of this committee to take a bow. And so that's my co-chair, and of course our rankings, Senator Martin, Rep. Buckby, and our co-chairs, Senator Cohen, Rep. Rochelle. And then the truth is, we really put our supporting staff to the test. And like always, they came through in flying colors. And if there was an opportunity for a drum roll, this would be where we do our drum roll for the incredible staff. Ginger, you were awesome. Take a bow. And of course, Nick, who is the cog in the wheel here, Nick, our LCO attorney. And of course, our OLR people, just incredible, always there. And truth of the matter is, they're always 10 steps ahead of us. To Terry Adams and to Sean McCann, we are, of course, in your debt. And our OFA person, Evelyn Walensky, is home with her second new baby. And I think she's going to be joining us as we get to the finishing weeks of the session, but we were able to go right up the chain to some of the brass over there at OFA, and that is Michael Murphy. And Michael is the repository of years of numbers. And so we were the beneficiary of that. And our sessionals, Peter Andrews and Jay Snitsky, you all, this was a very different experience, especially for sessionals. And so thanks for, being so nimble and working with us. Yeah, we like to call ourselves Team Commerce, and there's a reason for that. And that is because everybody really rolls up their sleeves. They are so important to the input and the output. What the agenda that we had today and our previous JFs are clearly all of your work, and we are just grateful without it. And it's a demonstration of the fact that when we have more around the table, we come out with much better results. And I'm very proud of all of this work that you've done. And Madam Chair, if you would indulge me for one more minute to say that for a moment of silence, over the weekend, folks, we, as you may have heard, lost two incredible longtime previous members, one of the Senate, one of the House, who really have left their mark on the Connecticut General Assembly, and that is Senator Biagio Billy Ciotto, who has had over 3 decades of service to this state, and in fact has a state building named after him. He was an incredible man, and he worked with everybody, and he always had such a sense of conviviality. We will miss him. And also from the House of Representatives, former Representative David Pudlin, who was an incredible advocate, a longtime advocate for the people, consumers. He rose to the position of Speaker Pro Tem, and was an incredible man. So if we could just take a moment to remember them and to continue to be inspired by them. Thank you, Madam Chair. And thank you all again, and to you, Madam Chair. Hey, have a good day when you have some time off from Commerce now.
That's right. Thank you, Madam Co-Chair. So well said. And any closing remarks from our ranking members?
Thank you. Sure. Thank you, Madam Chair. Again, thank you to the staff. Thank you for all the fine details, or getting into the details for us, and then allowing us with that information to have a good discussion in screening as well as here in the committee. And everyone in the committee, I just want to say this is one of the best committees to be on. Senator Hartley and Representative Simmons do an outstanding job at steering the ship here. They've allowed, I know, Representative Buckby and myself to fully ask questions, be engaged in the screening. I think it's important, regardless of what committee you're on, in order to do the service that we're called to do, to have open dialogue and thoroughly understand legislation, what's being proposed or what's being asked, and the intent and so forth. And I can't say enough about Senator Hartley and Senator Simmons and allowing us to have that dialogue here at the committee, but also in screening. So hats off to them. Thank you so much for setting the example, I think, for the rest of the legislature in the way, sorry everybody, in the way that a committee should be operated. So thank you guys. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much, Senator, for those kind words, and right back at you. It's just been a pleasure to work with you and Rep. Buckby, and so appreciate, you know, your commitment to bipartisanship and just the ability to work together this session and have that dialogue on the important bills that we're discussing. And I think, you know, you all asked such good questions, and I think ultimately the best policy comes out of those discussions where we're really getting clear answers and making sure the bills and policies make sense. So thank you for that. And Rep. Buckby, did you have any closing remarks?
You know, I guess the worst thing to do is offer a bunch of politicians last words on things, right? We'll go all day. But echo the comments made by all three of you previously. I have to say, I've learned a tremendous amount in sitting in this role, and it's so wonderful to have open dialogue with the chairs and with such extended dialogue with Senator Martin as well. Has helped me tremendously. This committee has been my favorite committee since I got here, and into my third term on this committee. The establishment of the friendships and the dialogue with so many people on both sides of the aisle. This committee on this side, there's people I sat on with Representative Yacarino when he was ranking member on this committee, and I learned a ton from him. And to be able to pass on some of that to some of our freshmen and some of our sophomores, and to get the feedback from Rep. Fusco when he calls me up at 9 o'clock at night, and that's okay. I love it. This is a great open dialogue committee across the board, and the relationships certainly have deep roots across the board with everybody here. So I appreciate that. I'm going to miss hearing Representative Phipps have to say it twice every time he has to vote. I'm going to miss, there he is. I'm going to miss, having to turn my volume down when Terry Adams is speaking in our screening, but certainly wonderful staff across the board. And of course, I have to say again, the wonderful job done by Andrew Droney here in the House Republican office, who's been 3 o'clock in the morning. I got an email, we all did, from him last night for the work he's putting in. So the amount of people that go above and beyond, and it starts with the chairs who've done a wonderful job of that. And I thank you for that. Thank you for the inclusion of being a part of the process. And again, thank you to Senator Martin for leading the way for me on that as well. So thank you all very much. This has been wonderful.
Thank you so much for those comments, Rep. Buckby. It's been a pleasure working with you. And yeah, anytime you miss those, we can always reconvene for a screening, so you don't miss us too much. But certainly we're gonna miss everyone. And thank you all so much again for your collaboration on Team Commerce again this year. And with that, unless there's any other remarks, we can recess the meeting until 2 o'clock for votes.
Great.
So thank you so much, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Yes.
Ginger?
bye-bye.
Ginger?
Yes. Hi.
I missed the first vote.
Yep. So that's on Senate Bill 3, and there was as amended.
Yes. Do you want me to, do I have to say my name again and all that?
Representative Hayes.
Pardon me?
Any family history on the heights?
Nope. I got you.
All right, so Representative Nuccio.
Representative Johnson.
I didn't vote yet though. Is this all set?
Thank you.
Okay.
Representative Sorry, go ahead. Representative Nuccio.
Representative Nuccio on Senate Bill 3 is a no.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that's it for me, right?
Just give me a moment to double check, please.
Okay, take your time.
All right, Representative, you're all set.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Ginger, I think I made all my votes, but do you mind checking for me, please?
Yep, I'll check right now. One sec.
Sorry, I'm in 3 meetings at once.
No worries, I get it.
Me too. Yeah.
I got all your votes, Representative.
Hey, Ginger, I know.
Thank you.
Too. I don't want to cut if Tammy already is in queue.
Sorry, 1 second.
Jen and I are together today and juggling.
Yeah, I get it.
Have higher ed and have 2 other ones too at the same time.
Gosh, Tammy, I don't even know how you're doing it. I'm having an impossible time just with 2.
All right, Representative Leeper, I just need you for 5481 first.
5481. Leeper votes yes.
Representative Exum, I need you for 6607.
607. The cybersecurity. Representative Exum votes yes.
Representative Leeper, I need you for that one as well.
Which one was that one?
6607.
Yes.
And Representative Leeper, I just need you for the consent calendar. We placed Senate Bill 936, 1038, 1039, and House Bills 5759, 6604, and 6467.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks, Ginger.
Am I all set, Ginger?
Yes, Representative, sorry about that. You're all set.
Thank you so much. And good to see you, Peter. Nice job. Thank you to you both, Ginger and Peter. You've done a wonderful job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Representative Exum.
Hi. You're on mute.
Okay, all right, now I'm good. All right, I don't know what happened. Okay, so
Yeah.
what votes?
So 6606, 6607, and the consent calendar.
Oh, yeah, that's bizarre. Okay, because here I am, I'm like seconding them and everything else.
Yeah.
Okay, so got to call it or what? How do we have to do this?
Yep. So on 6606,
Senator Hartley in the affirmative.
okay, 6607,
Senator Hartley in the affirmative.
and on the consent calendar.
Senator Hartley in the affirmative.
All right, now I got you.
Okay, sorry about that, Ginger. Goodness gracious. And I hope it's okay to keep it open till 2 o'clock, but Henry asked that.
Yeah, no worries. I'm pretty sure I'll get everyone before then anyway.
Yeah, well, who else do we have? We have Sampson, we have McCory, who else?
Wood stepped out, so I need her.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Okay, all right. Sometimes it's like corralling. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Oh, and
okay.
Needleman. I need Needleman, but I
Oh,
already.
yeah. Yeah, he normally tells me when he's not gonna make a vote, but yeah.
But I already spoke to Brooke, so she should be reminding him to get on before 2.
Before 2, okay. Okay, Ginger, and in terms of you getting them all off to LCO and all that kind of stuff now, you technically have until when? Tomorrow?
Well, I think that, I mean, yes, but I'm pretty sure that if we hold the meeting, my votes have to go up by the end of the day. Just as good practice, but yeah, we're no like super rush on these.
Okay, that's good. Okay. And all told, we have about what, like 28 bills?
It's in the 20s for sure. I have to go back and count, but yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Hey, Ginger, how does that compare to like last year in previous years?
Oh man, I have to look at those numbers, but I think the first year it was something similar.
Yeah. So we're certainly no more.
No, I don't think more than we did the first year. Or I mean, my first year.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2019, I think we might have had either the same or a little more. Again, I can double check and.
Yeah, I'm just curious because, we're trying to just, do priorities and focused and so forth.
And then, last year was a mess.
Yeah, well, last year, there's no measure there. I think we got our Transfer Act bill across the line, and that was it.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah. That was special session too. Okay. All right. Very good, Ginger. Yeah. Incredible work. How's the eye?
It's okay. It's better.
Good.
It's better. It still hurts still a little aggravated.
Yeah.
A little angry at me, but.
Do you wear glasses ever? Not contacts.
Just to read and be on the computer. No, not contacts, no.
Yeah, I would think.
Yeah, it must have been, like right. Sorry about that. It must have been like a mascara, maybe, or maybe I got like a hair in there.
Yeah, you never know.
Because it was like under my eyelid.
Oh yeah, so that's really.
So it was a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better now.
I know. Timing is everything, right? And that stuff always happens when we can least accommodate it. Yeah. But anyway, okay. Well, good. You even sound better. So, all right. Very good. Thanks so much, for bearing with me. And hanging in there, being nimble, because this year was one of those years, boy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
My pleasure.
If there's anything else, okay. I did talk to Nick. I've got a few little amendments and tweaks that I need on a couple of these bills when I kind of got into the weeds with them last night, but I wasn't going to complicate things today. So,
Sounds
okay.
good.
Okay,
All right,
thanks.
thanks so much.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Hi, Senator. Sorry, you're on mute.
Sorry about that. Hi, Ginger.
How are you?
I'm good. Forgive me. I had a doctor's appointment this morning. That's why I missed the committee meeting.
Oh, that's all right. Let me just take you to the agenda here. Okay, so let's start with SB3.
My understanding is that the majority of the Republicans voted no on this bill, and I want to follow my ranking member. I believe he was a no. So Senator Sampson votes no on item number 1.
Okay. Senate Bill 167.
Senator Sampson votes yes.
Okay. And some of the items were moved to a consent calendar, so we'll do that at the end.
Okay, yep.
House Bill 5481.
Senator Sampson votes yes.
House Bill 6606.
Senator Sampson votes yes.
6607.
Senator Sampson votes no. Oh, actually, I mean, I'm confused about that, by the way, because it says JF to judiciary as opposed to being a straight referral. You know, normally when we, you know, they JF the bill to another committee, that means we're actually voting on the bill, not just to refer it.
Well, I think in this case it's both, or just to be okay with joint favorable to judiciary.
Yeah, so we're voting on the bill. So I will say Senator Sampson votes no.
Yeah,
I might change my mind. I'm on judiciary too, but
okay. Well,
I
fair
didn't
enough.
like language.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so we placed 936, 1038, 1039, 5759, 6604, and 6467 on consent.
Senator Sampson votes yes on the consent calendar.
All right, you are all set.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Of course. Have a good one.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Hi, Representative. Sorry, you're on mute.
Sorry, couldn't even find where everything was.
That's okay. Just need you for a few things here. Senate Bill 167.
Yes.
House Bill 5481.
Yes.
House Bill 6606. It's House Bill 6606.
Yep. Yes.
Okay. House Bill 6607.
Yes.
And then we placed items 936, 1038, 1039, 5759, 6604, and 6467 on a consent calendar.
Yes.
All right, you're all set.
Thank you.
No problem. Hello, Senator. You're on mute, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you.
Are the votes open?
Yes, they are.
How many votes do we have?
1 second. We have 6.
Okay, let's go.
Right. Have you taken a look at the agenda, or should I pull it up?
Pull it up, please. Is it in the, let me see.
Sorry, one second.
Hold on.
It was attached to the invite.
It's not attached to the notes, though. It's not attached to the calendar, the notes in the calendar.
Okay, I'll pull it up.
Okay.
Okay. So we placed a couple items on consent calendar, so I'll do those last. So we'll start with
Hey.
Senate Bill 3.
It says an act concerning diverse economic opportunities. What is that? Oh God, I should be looking this. Hold on 1 second.
The votes are open until 2 as well, if you want to.
The votes are open till 2.
Yeah.
Well, 1 second. Let's go on the consent calendar first.
So we placed Senate Bill 936, 1038, 1039, House Bills 5759, 6604, and 6467.
Okay. All right. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
So what leaves us what's that? That leaves us with what? Hello? Hello?
Hi, sorry about that. I was muted this time. So that leaves us with Senate Bill 3,
Mm-hmm.
Senate Bill 167.
167?
Yes.
And that's it?
Nope. We have House Bill 5481, House Bill 6607, and House Bill 6606.
Okay. Let's do the, did you get my vote for the consent calendar? Let's do that one first.
Was a yes, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, let's go to Senate Bill 1. Let me 1 second. I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
Small business to grow economic. 1 second. How do we want to use Okay, I like that. I'm a yay on that one.
Okay.
Senate Bill 3. Yes, Senate Bill 3.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
167.
167. 1 second. Sorry, the former Seaside Sanatorium facility. Oh, that's a Seaside. That's that building that burned up. Yes, I'm a yes.
Okay. Next is 5481.
I am a yes.
Okay. Next we have 6606.
6606.
Correct.
Okay, I'm a yes. All right.
Okay, and then one more 6607.
I'm a yes.
All right, you're all set.
Bye-bye. Yep.
Thank you. Hi, Senator.
Hi, Ginger. How are you?
I'm well. How are
Sorry.
you?
Good. Sorry for the movement of the camera. I just got home and I wanted to vote.
No worries. So we have about 6 votes, I think. We placed a lot of bills on the consent calendar, so we can start with that, or we can do the single
No,
votes.
I'm a yes on the consent calendar. Needleman, yes on the consent calendar.
Okay. All right, so we have Senate Bill 3.
I'm a yes on that.
Did you take a look at the agenda, or did you want me to pull it up?
Just talk me through them. I'm a yes on Senate Bill 3.
Okay, so Senate Bill 167 is the
Seaside.
yes,
Seaside Park. So I am, although I want to sort of flag this because it is a park and I would not mind if it stayed in state hands. I also understand the interest of the community in wanting to have this on their tax rolls. So I'm going to vote yes to move that out of committee. But I'm going to flag it and see what the final bill looks like if it gets out of committee.
Okay, sounds good. Next, we have House Bill 5481. It's an act establishing a grant program for women and minority-owned businesses.
I'm a yes.
Okay, next we have House Bill 6606, and that is an act concerning economic development and the renovation of historic mixed-use buildings in the state.
How did that vote go on that?
All yeses.
So I'm a yes on that.
Okay. Next is 6607, an act incentivizing the adoption of cybersecurity standards for businesses.
What kind of standards again?
Cybersecurity.
Oh, cybersecurity. Yeah, I'm a yes on that.
Okay, let me just double check here that I have everything. All right, Senator, you're all set.
Thank you so much, Ginger. Have a nice day.
You too, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Peter.
Yes.
Thanks for staying on. I'm going to go confirm these votes on YouTube, and then I'll, put them up.